Well, I guess it's official. We're now on Facebook. I really wasn't sure about this at the start. But then a friend of mine said something that just made all kinds of sense. She said, think of it more as a conversation. I like that. But I'm already finding out on my own is that it's wiping the walls out between you and me, and I really like that. It allows us into each other's worlds, or I guess in my case, a hotel room. When I think about things I want to post cool stuff, slick stuff, neat stuff. But most of the stuff I'm going to post is going to be raw stuff like this. Because this is just who I am. So if this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Thursday, December 1st, 2022. Happy Advent Calendar Day to you all. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Happy No Work Month to America.
Next to Tassie, it's a bearded one, my top shot hot boy. That's Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is, and here we are.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what's gurgling behind me.
Okay.
It's all right.
You're there.
It
We're
stopped.
here.
Gurgle done.
Let the conversation begin. All right, let's get to it. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com for the holiday season. Makes a great gift. Hats, mugs, hoodies, shorts. I believe there's a few shorts available still. Yeah?
That's true.
T-shirts.
I meant to wear my Young Santa sweatshirt today. Forgot to, but I'll wear it tomorrow.
The one with you on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's more days in December, it turns out, so tomorrow it will be.
We're working most of December. The rest of America, I guess, doesn't. Send in your questions and comments as well to nodunks@theathletic.com. You never know when we're going to hit the beach. Okay, on today's show, we are going to do our biggest surprises about all the Eastern Conference teams. Yesterday, we did the 15 Western Conference teams. Today, we'll do the 15 Eastern Conference teams. But we had a million games on last night. We're only going to touch on a couple, but we had some amazing performances. We got to get your thoughts on Devin Booker, scoring 51 points in 3 quarters as the Suns absolutely hammered your Chicago Bulls. Why don't you get us started there, TK? What do you think about that performance?
Devin Booker's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
This guy can score the basketball. I mean, he started out Patrick Williams on him for quite a few possessions. Too slow. Mm-hmm. Alex Caruso did a better job of staying close. Too short.
Yeah.
It appears that some of Devin Booker's baskets were assisted, according to the tracking data at NBA.com/stats, but I don't believe it, because it seemed like he was making every single play off the dribble and scoring every single time he wanted to. Finished 20 for 25.
Oh, my God.
Incredible stuff. This is coming after a 44-point game in his previous outing, so 95 points over 2 nights. Pretty good.
Devin Booker just won Player of the Month, I believe, Tass.
Yes. And
we're waiting for that word officially. I mean, he had 3
I guess it was the end of November.
Games.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, 3 40-point games there in November, and then the 51 last night in 3 quarters.
What was great about it was only 6 free throws, just continuously burying shots. A lot of the time as well, we say, it was like the guy couldn't miss. And this was like he couldn't miss. Yeah. To have a special 80% from the field night. 20 for 25. Like, if we're going back to that 70-point game he had a while back in Boston.
Yeah, 2017.
So long ago. He missed a lot of shots that night. He took 40-plus shots. Yeah. This one, my God. It was wild to see him shoot just through Alex Caruso. I always think of Devin Booker not as a huge guard, because he's also not massive. He's not wide. But it looked like no one could just affect his shot last night. He literally was ultra confident. That was one of those when a shooting guard gets going, kind of fun nights. And he's not a deep 3-point shooter, but that last one late in the third, that was deep.
Yes.
He was feeling everything.
The first couple minutes of the second half, he was unstoppable. It didn't matter who the Bulls threw at him. He was like, I'm going to score here. Either pull up at 3, attack with like left-handed finishes at the rim, or that jumper that's money, either working in the post or just getting to the free throw line area. It's just pure. Couple great stats about Booker's game from one of my favorite Substacks right now, Statitudes. Listen to this. Throughout NBA history, there have been 566 50-point games recorded in the regular season. 566. Booker's effort is just the 13th in which a player shot at least 80% from the field. Tough to do, 80% field goal percentage in a 50-point game, because it does usually take, a lot of shot attempts to get to that high a mark.
Or free throws even.
Or free throws, that's right. He did all of this, Booker did, in 30 minutes and 40 seconds. Only 4 players have recorded a 50-point game with less playing time. A total of 5 instances. You want to play some trivia? Can you name the guys? They're all current players to help you out
50
here.
points in
50 points
fewer minutes.
in less minutes than Booker did last night. So basically, less than 30 minutes is what we're getting at here.
Yeah, wow. Did Giannis do it? I feel
No.
like he had a 28 or no, it wasn't 50.
No. A guy did it this calendar year. So last season, a big guy.
Joel Embiid?
Yes. Embiid in January 2022, obviously this year, he scored 50 points in 27 minutes in like 3 seconds against the Magic, I believe it was. Okay, the player that I'd love you to get, he did it twice.
You would love us to get this guy specifically?
I think you should.
Kevin Durant?
Oh, you were doing this.
I was going to do Clay.
That's right. No dribbling. That's exactly
dribbling.
right.
Yeah,
Clay did it twice in 2016 and 2018. And then a pair of teammates did it also in 2018. They did it in like 29 minutes and change, where they had a 50-point game. They did it like 10 days apart.
Kyrie, no?
No. This is they're no longer teammates. I'll give you that little hint in the trivia here. One still plays for the current team, and one has moved on to another Western Conference team.
Another Western Conference team.
Yeah. Both Western Conference guards. One has never made the All-Star team. One is a perennial All-Star.
Oh, Jamal Murray.
No.
Oh. No. Nuts. No, he hasn't moved.
Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum.
That's right,
nice.
sir. Yes.
Nice.
Flip it around. It was CJ first and then Dame in 2018. Again, some like 10 days apart. I don't really remember that, but late January and then early February. So good stuff there from Statitudes.
Statitudes.
Man, if you like stats, go check out this Substack. Okay, let's keep it going. I mean, Devin Booker, just unreal. We also had a game of note last night because I bet my house on it, and I'm rich now.
2 houses.
Yeah, exactly. I got 2 houses, man. Anthony Edwards, he sparks the Townsless Wolves to the 109-101 victory over the Grizzlies. So a little bit of a rivalry between these 2 teams meeting in the playoffs. But we thought, Tess, no cat. Watch the it's the Ewing theory, as Bill Simmons has called it forever, and they came out and played pretty well here. Minnesota did.
Anthony Edwards threw Rudy Gobert an alley-oop in the 4th.
Indeed.
Don't see that very often. Maybe they'll have some chemistry just because Karl-Anthony Towns is out. Edwards is going to have the ball. Rudy Gobert is going to be the center. I thought Kyle Anderson being inserted to the starting lineup is very, very key for this team. Just a glue guy.
Yep.
A connector, if you will. I think,
bridge? You wanna go bridge?
Sure. So many bridges. Not Mikal, not Miles, obviously, but
Get the hell out of here.
yeah, but
Jeff.
this Jeff Todd, see you later. Anyway, I think he might just force his way into the starting lineup and might not leave the starting lineup. Kyle Anderson is just perfect for.
May not leave. What happens in 4 to 6 weeks when Cat comes back? Trade him?
He can
6
be a
starters.
small forward.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Go super big.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Kyle's not big. He's a wing.
He's slow, though.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
plays
he's
like a
molasses.
Slow team.
No, he is great. I mean, I agree with you. He is one of those classic, like, as your, whatever, 4th or 5th player in the starting lineup. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
in the
he
role.
helped. He just helps. So we'll see what Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards can do together. Hopefully that happens because Carl's not there. It pays off later on when Towns does come back. Towns will be in the starting lineup when he comes back. I can guarantee that.
Maybe they should look to trade him, though. You're going to see that. They start pulling off some wins here. Those
Absolutely
those
will.
rumors will fire up. But what do you think about Ant leading the Wolves to the win?
I thought he was awesome in the 4th quarter in particular, and I can't believe it. I got to tip my hat to Rudy Gobert for all of his screen assists.
He was
This
sicko?
guy was screening last night. It's not a coincidence to me that they ran so many pick and rolls. You're right. Edwards did eventually pass the ball to Rudy Gobert for an alley-oop. Everybody went crazy. But he was setting great screens, getting a ton of space for Edwards to then be able to attack downhill. And then Edwards was just finishing over whoever happened to be there. Didn't matter if it was 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys. Eventually he did get it to Rudy Gobert, but that was kind of just like I felt like a thank you gift from Anthony Edwards. Thanks for getting me open so many times in this 4th quarter. Have a nice dunk for the road.
Yeah, and Rudy was calling for rescreens even. He was saying, get up there, get up top, bring the ball to Anthony Edwards and screen. And then the bigger question mark in the starting lineup isn't, Obviously, Karl-Anthony Towns is going to come back. I think Kyle Anderson is key. It's Anthony Edwards gets the ball more if D'Angelo Russell isn't there. I think that guy should be the number one trade prospect, because last year things worked out with Patrick Beverley back there, and things were just a lot different on that team. So that's the chemistry issue, I think. Anthony Edwards just got to be more prominent.
Russell was a table setter last night with 10 assists, and he hit a big three, an important three in this game because it was close. And then the Grizzlies, they got upset, didn't they? And,
they were mad.
Dylan Brooks and John Morant getting a little pissed off with this one. But the Wolves get it done without Cat there, as everyone predicted. And final game that we need to just touch on briefly here. The Boston Celtics continuing their winning ways. Had some royalty in attendance last night, too. I know Trey was pumped up about that. Your sister must have been ecstatic about this.
This is the first time my sister has been in our basketball group text. Me, my dad, my stepbrother, and my sister hopping in. Starting a full new group text.
Wow.
Did you know Will and Kate are going to the game tonight?
Oh, she knew it in advance.
Skates, she's flying to Boston today because they're still there doing some climate change initiatives.
Yeah.
She's just hoping to catch a glimpse of the Royals.
Yeah,
Man.
it's amazing. It's amazing. I love that
She's
these people
peeping the
still
game.
exist.
Yeah, so I was updating her the entire night on how often they were clapping. I sent her the clip of Will saying, "He's very good."
Yes.
After Jason Tatum hit back-to-back threes, I thought it was hilarious that they put him up on the Jumbotron, and the Boston Celtics fans responded by chanting USA. We got your tea party right here, Will. It did leave a question, though. 49 points from Jason Tatum. They stayed the whole game. They were there the whole game. This is only the second game these two have been to. The first was in December 2014. They showed up in the third quarter for a Cavs versus Nets game.
Yeah, LeBron, right?
Yeah, it ended up being a blowout. Leading scorer that night, Deion Waiters, with 26 points. I don't think that one is going to make it into the crown. 49 points, though, from Jason Tatum?
Wow.
Season 10? A de-aged Drake playing Jason Tatum? Come on. I think they got to get it in there.
De-aged Drake.
Yeah, he's going to be like 50 years old by the time, they make season 10 of The Crown. He's supposed to play a 19-year-old, but they can do incredible things with computers these days.
Well, yeah, Will and Kate stay for the whole game. Our Canadian king, Drake, doesn't stay for 48 minutes. No, they stay for the entire thing. It was impressive. Unfortunately, I thought it was Will and Grace that was going to be there and not Will and Kate. I would have been a little bit more pumped for them. But yeah, my dumb, pointless Twitter investigative work led me to believe that there was a good amount of cheers instead of just the USA chants. Who cares? But, the donkeys that know geography and start chanting USA, come on. I don't know how many there were. I would like to think that it was mostly cheers for Will and Kate.
You'd like to think that.
Yeah, well, rather than USA, hey, did you know you flew to the USA? We're chanting USA at you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Some notable moments in United States history have happened in Boston, and I'll tell you who the villains were.
That's a good point. They asked Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla after the game if he got a chance to meet the royal family. This was Joe Mazzulla's quote: "Jesus, Mary, and Joseph? I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about them, but hopefully they're Celtics fans." Talking about, obviously, Prince William and Kate Middleton. What a quote. That's going to be one of the quotes of the year.
You need to get off Twitter and go to church from Joe Mazzulla. That's nice.
I would like to see if Tatum goes on to pull out an MVP victory, Prince William and Kate give it to him. And, Prince William could be like, yeah, he is good. He is MVP. Cheer, cheer, cheer. But yeah, dominant performance, 49 as the Celtics just continue to be lights out. We'll get to them, of course, when we get to our surprises for Eastern Conference teams here. And I got some stats about them and their offense being the greatest of all time right now. By a landslide, actually. It's wild after, 22 games they've played. The only other note from the Celtics game happened this morning. I don't know if you guys saw Woj tweeting that Al Horford has agreed to a 2-year, $20 million contract extension that ties him to the franchise through his 39th birthday. So Big Al signing on for a couple more years. That'll kick in 23, 24.
39, huh? I think he's going to be good till he's 39.
So you think that's a steal, $10 million a year?
39, he's been in the league a long time, but he stays pretty young, feels like, right? Like he looks
identical, man.
And he loves playing in Boston. He wanted to get back to Boston after his first stint there. they tried the Philly thing, went to OKC, and they got him back to Boston. His whole family, speaking of his royal family, has always said he wanted to go back to Boston. He's pumped to be there. I think he'll be spry through his 39th birthday. Alfred Joel Horford Reynoso.
You don't think in a couple of years from now we'll see who would it be? Who would be like a comparison? Who's a great young wing, like a super young wing in the NBA? Like a small forward. Give me a name.
Like at any small forward, Jabari Smith Jr.
Okay. You don't
young.
think in a couple of years Al Horford being 39, 40, that we'll see Jabari Smith Jr. matched up on him in the corner, like we saw Tatum blowing by Haslam last night.
Wow.
You don't think that'll be an issue with an old Al?
Yeah, that was
What a weird
tough.
way for me to get there.
That was tough.
That was crazy. What are they doing to poor Haslam, man?
They put Udonis Haslam, the oldest player in the NBA, born in 1980, on Jason Tatum in the corner. Plus, they had that corner cam where it was right on the floor so you could see just one shimmy from Jason Tatum, put Udonis Haslam in the absolute opposite direction. Poor dude. Now, if Al Horford
Haslam is older than I am. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's the only player born in 1980
Wow.
left in the NBA.
He's 42 years old.
But he hasn't been playing.
No.
Horford plays.
No, I know.
Anyway, but yeah, he could be. But he's at $10 million, when the salary cap goes up, he's still a backup. Like, that could be priced as a backup. Big.
And like whatever he's contributing in 2 years from now,
And
he's
high
basically
fives.
like Haslam. He's like a coach.
Totally.
He's either a player coach or he's just like, spot minutes here or there, and he's like such a great locker room guy and presence and stuff like that. So, yeah, good stuff from Horford there. Okay, should we get into the teams?
Let's get into the teams.
The big surprises at the quarter mark of the NBA season for all the Eastern Conference teams today. Again, if you want to hear our Western Conference thoughts, check out yesterday's podcast. These could be good or bad, so positive or negative, can be about specific players, can be about coaches, or even trends. We're going to start in the middle of America, the Central Division.
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting choice.
By me.
Yeah, the Central of all the three to choose from.
Middle out.
You know why I picked the Central? You want me to peel
Let me
back
know.
the curtain?
Yeah, peel it.
I think I picked them the other day because I was like, what's the best conference? Excuse me. The best division right now.
Overall, the best division.
Now you would maybe counter. Well, hold on. How's it not the Atlantic, right? Boston with the best record. But then there's like
Who's the
there's the
second best?
Raptors, the Sixers. Like they're all like sort of
Everybody else is
around
500 pretty
Yeah.
much.
So this one we got the Bucks, and we got the Cavs. The Pacers are about a 500 team. So anyway,
the best division.
That's why I went with them. So Tass. You just kick back and chill for a second.
I'll take this one, buddy.
Trey, the Milwaukee Bucks. What's been the biggest surprise about the Milwaukee Bucks a quarter of the way through the NBA season?
How about how good Brook Lopez is?
Yeah, I agree.
Great to have this guy back. We've known about the defense. He's been awesome defensively for the Bucks this entire season, his entire tenure with Milwaukee. But he's stepped it up defensively and offensively. He is crushing it right now. 50% from field, 40 from three, 80% at the free throw line. He's averaging a Bucks best. It's his Bucks tenure. This is the most points he's averaged. This is the most blocks he's had his entire career in the NBA. He looks basically like Brooklyn Brook right now. I think he's kind of a shoo-in at this point for Defensive Player of the Year. He seems to be the leader in the clubhouse if you're checking the tweets out there. And there's a potential he makes an all-star game right now, 10 years apart from his last time there with the Nets. So I think him coming back and being able to assume a huge chunk of the offense with Chris Middleton missing time, with Drew Holiday missing time, Pat Connaughton was out for a while. They've just had a lot of points off the board, but Brook has been able to step into that scoring role, which is a little bit of a surprise for me because he seemed to be pretty content to just be a catch-and-shoot player for the Bucks the past couple of seasons. But anytime they've needed him, we saw it in the playoffs against the Hawks. Anytime they've just needed Brook Lopez to be a scorer, he can obviously still do it. They've needed it early in the season this year, and he's really stepped up.
He's an all-star. I think he's going to make the all-star team. Even as a guy who's averaging 15.5 points a game, they're going to pick a second buck, it feels like to me.
Because the Celtics and Milwaukee will have sort of the best records?
Well, I shouldn't just say just because they're going to be a great team. Brook deserves it. Brook is just so good, period. And he has just been phenomenal. He has reinvented his game, and this is going to be his first all-star appearance in a freaking decade, which would be the longest It's the longest.
I mean, nobody
span.
ever actually followed up
I know,
with me
but
on
it's
that,
gotta
but
be. It's gotta be the longest.
It's either going to be Drew Holiday or Brook Lopez.
Yep.
Incredibly, being a decade apart, I think, as an All-Star selection.
Dude just keeps reinventing himself
over
and over and over again. He used to just work in the paint, and now they're finding him in the paint more. They're finding him on little dives and that kind of thing. And he reinvented his shot, as Eric Name wrote about on The Athletic. Actually, Eric Name, shout out to Eric Name.
Hell yeah.
National Sports Media Association nominated him as a Wisconsin Sports Writer finalist. Wisconsin, back to the middle of the country. So congrats to him, and congrats to Brook. I think as we've gone through all the All-Stars in the recent Bucks history, it's always been Chris Middleton has always been the second one. He's not there. It's kind of Wiggins-like. They didn't have Clay last year. Wiggins got in there. And there's been talk before about Bledsoe as the third guy even. Drew, but Drew hasn't been phenomenal. This guy has been great. He's been phenomenal, and here comes Chris Middleton.
Yeah, I guess possibly back this Friday. They're saying with Chris Middleton returning to the Bucks. I think it's fun to imagine, to skip ahead to May, Bucks versus Celtics in a potential matchup wherever it is. Is it in the second round? Is it more likely in the conference finals? Of Brook being a bit of a difference maker against a team like the Celtics, because Robert Williams in theory should be back, but of course Brook can stretch the floor, and maybe a difficult sort of matchup there for Robert Williams, and then can Brook hold his own inside against him? It's just fun to think about that, and for the Milwaukee to beat Boston, he'll have to play at an all-star level like he's been on both ends. So
I don't want to talk about how inevitable it feels like, because we still have 60 games left in the Eastern Conference for each team, but it feels like those are the Eastern Conference
think if
finalists.
those two teams are healthy, Robert Williams coming back, Chris Middleton coming back, I can't talk myself into any other team beating them 4 out of 7 times. And as much as the Cavs have been great, the Sixers are obviously a beast with Embiid, but I don't know. They just feel like they're on both sides of the ball, and they obviously. We've seen how far they've gone before, winning titles and getting to the finals and stuff like that.
They're the 2 best teams in the league right now, and both of them are missing a key starter.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robbie Williams is coming back, too. He's been in the...
Robbie
Yeah,
Williams.
call him.
He was never here in America, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Never really made it.
When's he scheduled to be back?
Maybe Will and Kate could have brought him.
Yeah.
He's on the practice floor blocking shots.
I did see that clip,
Yeah, the overhead practice gym shot. He's blocking shots. Pretty cool. Love that shot. But and Giannis just had, speaking of last night's game, he had 37, 13, and 7 in the Garden last night. No one cares.
No.
He fouled out. And he's been shooting better at the free throw line, too. He's
game.
coming around, 73% in his last 4 games.
Let's go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you know what? I should take back what I just said, that it's inevitable that the Celtics and Bucks are going to play in the conference finals.
Oh, respect.
And here's why. This caught me by surprise. Biggest surprise. They have, the Cleveland Cavaliers, a better plus-minus than the Bucks, than a team like the Nuggets out west. They have the 3rd best plus-minus in the league right now, behind the Celtics, plus 8.6, the Suns, plus 7.4, and there's the Cavs, plus 6.9. They've been hammering some teams. And after last night's ass-kicking, the Cavs have a top 2 defense in the NBA, despite ranking almost dead last in steals per game and really quite low in blocks per game too. So how are they getting it done? Well, it's just impossible to score on them in the paint, especially when Jared Allen is playing and him and Mobley are there as your 1-2. They rank 4th in the NBA in that category. They're by far one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the league, so they just finish possessions. And to piggyback off that, they don't give up any second chance points. You have one chance to score on this Cleveland Cavaliers team, and then they grab the defensive rebounds. You're not really getting another chance, because they're the best team in the league in giving up the fewest second chance points to their opponent. Teams are shooting under 46%. That's one of the best marks in the league. So this defense is legit, paired with a top, I believe, 7 offense. They're good, and that plus minus caught me by surprise. Those are the signs of a really, really damn good team, and the record represents that. So maybe I am. I think they're a year away from beating, I think, a fully healthy Bucks or Celtics team. But, man, that's the right trajectory with still a young squad.
They beat the Celtics twice already this season,
point.
but it's going to be a problem when they get to the playoffs,
point,
and
though.
you got Dean Wade, Garden, Sir Jason Tatum. I would like to see a little more from Evan Mobley, if I'm being quite honest. He's been basically the same player he was his rookie season, which was a really, really solid player, but, he's still at 15 points a game, just like he was last season. I think he could probably be a better 3-point shooter, but doesn't seem to be looking for it right now. He just hasn't put a stamp on this season thus far.
Yeah, those 2 wins over the Celtics, both in overtime, right? So, like very, very competitive, close games. Just looking at their schedule, the Cavs, they're 9-1 at home. So they've only lost 1 game there. And 10 of their next 13 are there in the, what's it called? Rocket Mortgage Arena? I don't know.
They call it the Rock, I feel like,
Do
now.
they? Okay, so it must be Rocket Mortgage. Anyway, they have a lot of home
Mortgage
games.
Fieldhouse.
Oh, Fieldhouse, that's what it is.
Take out another mortgage on your Fieldhouse.
So
I
that
think got renamed to True Build, isn't it? Oh, that's another one. I'm just kidding. Just names. Go ahead.
anyway, that stretch there, that's like we're getting into the new year almost. That's past Christmas. They could have a killer ass record if they continue to win these games at home. So maybe they will be there with the Bucks and the Celtics in terms of elite records with that very, very heavy home schedule. They've been
Right.
great.
They've been
great.
phenomenal.
They have.
You know how much I love this Cavs team. They had that tough stretch where they lost 5 in a row, was it?
Yeah.
And it's been a bit of a roller coaster. I will say, as much as I love this team, I thought that they would finish 3rd in the Eastern Conference standings. I think they sort of lost their chance to overtake the Bucks because the Bucks are ahead of them, and then they get Chris Middleton back. So I think this is the way the Celtics are playing, by far and away the best regular season team, and the Bucks have been unhealthy.
But if the Cavaliers are the 3rd or 4th seed in the Eastern Conference,
that is a monstrous feat.
incredible.
No, it is. I made that my bold prediction, and it doesn't seem bold now.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
but with the Sixers and the Raptors and the Hawks and even the Nets to some degree and the Miami Heat, though they had to fight with those teams for 3rd in the Eastern Conference, and they've beat them all up so far.
Yeah. All right, Tass. Indiana Pacers.
Oh boy!
What do you got?
The 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. Who would have friggin' thunk it? They're 12-9, and it's surprising to me that they found their backcourt of the future now, like this fast. I mean, who the hell thought that Benedict Mathurin would be a potential rookie of the year? It's him and Banchero. Banchero's playing great, but he is injured. The fact that he has come in beside Tyrese Halliburton, who, even with bigger opportunity, has continued to just be a pleasure to play with, I'm sure. He's just finding everybody.
Yeah.
We've talked about the assist to turnover ratio, the Chris Paul-like.
Oh, he had some turnovers against Sacramento there
Ridiculous.
in the Halley Bowl.
2 turnovers.
Yes, that's right. 50 assists to 2 turnovers, I guess, in the last 4 games.
So they got it. We just had a conversation about whether or not the Hawks, Cavs, or Pacers were the best backcourt. And Trey said, not now, but 5 years from now. And maybe it's true with Halliburton and Mathurin when you put them beside Donovan Mitchell, who's a little bit older, obviously beside Darius Garland, and Trey and Jonathan Murray's a little bit older. This could be a backcourt that's together forever. They drafted Mathurin at number 6 behind Jaden Ivey and Keegan Murray, other guards in this draft. And he's a star. He just loves contact. He's so decisive when he drives. He goes at it real hard. He shoots the 40% on nearly 6 a game. Beside Halliburton, again, who just passes to everybody. They also wear 0 and 00.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's got to be the first. A starting backcourt in NBA history wearing 0 and 00.
I was going to say, did anyone play with Westbrook? I'm
definitely
racking
been-
my brain.
Or Dame.
Or Dame. Yeah.
Dame and Melo were 0 and 00 in
Yeah.
Portland, not a starting backcourt.
Yeah. So anyway, you even throw in Andrew Nebhard, who they drafted
Hell yeah.
31st in the draft. They look good. He's 40% from 3. They look good. And it's surprising that they haven't traded Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, to me, but when they're 12-9, it's kind of hard to break up the party, I guess. They are looking pretty solid. Will they deal one of those guys and just build behind Mathurin and try and get another wing-ish or big that sort of fits the timeline of Mathurin and Halliburton? Feels
I think
they will.
you move off of those guys, but you just wait for like an offer you can't refuse,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
There's no rush to like get these guys out of here. Like they're killing our chemistry. It's like it feels like it doesn't even feels like it is. This is Halliburton's team, It's not Buddy's. It's not Miles Turner. It's his squad. It feels like as the point guard. So yeah, they'll just wait it out until they get I would assume a really, really good deal that's draft picks or a young prospect or something that they could add to the very, very young core there. Pacers, man, I thought they were gonna be the worst team in the league, so I'm eating some crow on this one right now. Where will they be at the end of the regular season? I don't know. Like, will they be a play-in team? Better? I guess my gut says I have to like double down on them like falling back to earth, and maybe they'll be a 9th or 10th seed, which would still be surprising to me because again I thought they'd be the worst. But yeah, Matherin's going to win either Rookie of the Year or Sixth Man of the Year. Probably more likely you win Sixth Man of the Year at this point.
He's probably the leader right now. Yeah. You see, I feel like on Twitter every night. Has a rookie ever won Sixth Man of the Year? You always see it. You always see it. But it would behoove them, I think, to be bad in the second half of the season. Certainly, they've got their own pick this year. They're getting a couple of extra first-rounders, one from Boston, one from Cleveland. Those aren't going to be great picks, obviously, but their own pick could be great, or they could just, be a 500 team, try and make it to the play-in tournament. I think it's more likely they go the other way. I do think it is funny that despite the fact this is Tyrese Halliburton's team, Miles Turner is going to take the game-winning shot every single time. He's getting it up. It's a little bit of a showcase for sure.
He was open the other night against the Lakers.
He might make one.
He might make one.
He might.
What were you going to say?
He was asking for that ball. He keeps asking. He took the initial one, which could have been the game winner.
Yeah.
Bounced out, and then he wanted it back. He is always firing those threes. Yeah.
Well, he's trying to get traded to the Lakers. I got to show them I can hit a game-winning three here.
I guess the other odd thing is beside him, Jalen Smith, former Phoenix Sun, is starting, which is strange because Jalen Smith was always a center, but now it's those two starting together, and Jalen Smith is firing threes, and so is Miles Turner. So this team, I think they're third in the league in terms of three-pointers per game. They're shooting like 40 a game.
Yeah,
they fire every guy. Every guy in the rotation fires away.
You said Mikal Bridges, Jeff Bridges, Todd Bridges. What about Gainbridge Fieldhouse? Shut up. I'll just shut up. I'll just shut the hell up. Gainbridge. I can't even say it. It's just a Fieldhouse to me.
Still Conseco in my books.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's stupid of me.
I do like the name Fieldhouse, though, for an arena.
So do I.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Yeah. Feels like there's just mice running around everywhere. Feels like a barn,
It seems drafty for sure.
Yeah, there's a tractor somewhere in there. All right, Chicago Bulls. I got them. I took them from you. Biggest surprise? Yeah, earmuffs. Biggest surprise about the Bulls is that they have the league's worst record in games that were within 5 points in the last 5 minutes. We're talking clutch situations.
Yeah, clutchers.
2-8 record. That's crazy to me because they have who's considered one of the best closers in the game, really, in DeMar DeRozan. So I think that's the wild part. And according to John Schumann from the NBA Power Rankings, that guy's dropping tidbits left and right.
This guy loves tidbits.
Holy moly. Shu pointed out, DeRozan is one of like 4 players, Jeremy Grant, Paul George, Dennis Smith Jr., as the others, with at least 3 buckets to tie or take the lead in the final minute of the fourth quarter or overtime. So DeRozan, he's clutch, but when you add it all up, all these close games within 5 down the stretch, they're 2-8. That's their clutch record, which is the worst than the Magic, which are right on their heels in terms of like win percentage, low win percentage. So
Magic beat the Bulls in a clutch game too.
Yeah, right. So that's their record is bad, but they win half of those. Pull them out, and it's not as gross, but
hey man, that sounds optimistic to me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a Schumann stat there for you. I don't know if Schumann still jumps in the stream team. Is he there? Schu, you there?
It depends on if it's tidbit season or not, and right now it's tidbit season. DeRozan last year was money in the clutch. Like he hit so many game winners. He obviously had the back-to-back nights game winner. So even like a small step back in clutch percentage, it's gonna be bad for the Bulls. And you're seeing if I don't know. He didn't shoot 80% in the clutch last year, but it kind of felt like it, and the Bulls overperformed. Now he is not shooting that well, and they're underperforming. Another surprise, I would say, is Billy Donovan getting an extension months ago.
Why didn't we know about
strange.
this?
I don't know.
Why is that kept a secret?
I don't know. There's no reason.
Yeah.
No, there is no reason. Because they got to the playoffs, and
they won like 47
46
games?
Yeah.
46?
And so when you give a coach an extension after that, it's the Nate McMillan thing. It's everybody says, oh, they got to the playoffs.
Deserved.
That's good.
Yeah.
But now when they're bad, you report it. Weird.
Very strange.
Yeah.
It's like they got better in Donovan's first season. They got better the next season. That would have been the time to announce it.
Yeah.
That would have been the time to be like, hey, we signed this guy to an extension. Not when you come in and kind of have a disappointing start.
Yeah, instead they had to leak it, I guess, if you want to call it that, after people were like, is Billy Donovan on the hot seat? Like, are they tuning him out? Like, this is bad. This isn't going well. And they're like, actually, we locked him up already.
The seat is incredibly cold.
He's probably not going anywhere all this quickly. So, yeah, way to slip that in there. All right, final team, the Detroit Pistons in the Central Division. What do you got?
Yeah, not one of the best teams in the Central Division. I think the biggest surprise is we had that preseason debate. Which up-and-coming team between the Pistons and the Magic would be better, would be more watchable?
Right.
And it's surprising the Magic have kicked the Pistons' ass. Now, I would say...
In just watchability factor?
Watchability and better. They're better. They're play clutch games. They're 2.5 points per game worse, the Pistons are, in terms of point differential.
Okay.
That's the second worst in the NBA. Spurs are the worst. But obviously injuries play a factor here. They're dead last in the East. They're 5-18. Cade Cunningham has played half the team's games. Mm-hmm. They're still debating whether the shin will have surgery or whether or not he's going to just rest it and play through it. So that's a huge factor. He had a good stretch while he was playing. But I guess some other surprising things about all these young and up-and-coming guys on the Pistons. Let's go through the young and up-and-comers that people were excited about. Sadiq Bey, we're talking about 50-point games here. He had one at the end of last season because he's a great three-point shooter. But he's only shooting 27% from three. Weird. Yeah, he's a third-year player, 38, 34, and 27 in his first 3 years in the league. On the other side, Isaiah Stewart, the Beef Stew, starting center. Many people have likened him to Al Horford in terms of the shot selection. He should be able to step out and hit a few threes a game. And he's been great. 36.5 from three since November 2nd. The man is balling from three. 51.7%, thanks to James Edwards for that stat. And he takes 4 games, so that's great. And Jaden Ivey has been good at shooting guard alongside Cade Cunningham. And those are the guys that we're talking about. And Jalen Duren has been good off the bench. So they've been fine, but if they don't have Cade, this team just it just goes from potential yelling at the play-in tournament to not even close. So that's the most surprising thing, I guess, is that Sadiq Bey isn't balling, and that the Magic have been a little bit more enjoyable.
Just.
Yeah.
Mainly because of Bol.
Yeah, Bol and Banchero.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that when you watch the Magic, it's like Bol is fun to watch.
Yeah.
Banchero is super fun to watch. When you watch the Pistons, unfortunately, their best player is Bojan Bogdanovic.
Yeah, right.
And that's kind of the problem there. Sadiq Bey's career shooting splits are hilarious, though. 35% from three for his career, but he shoots 54% against the Celtics. Like, he's just knockdown shooter against the Celtics. There's always that random guy that just kills your team. It's Sadiq Bey for Boston.
Weird one.
Will Liu calls that the Gerald Henderson Award.
There you go. There you go.
Talking about random guys killing your own squad there.
Korkmaz for the Bulls.
Yeah, there you go. All right, that's the Central Division. Let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll hit the other 2 divisions in the Eastern Conference to share our biggest surprises. Don't go anywhere.
Grammarly. My old friend. But quite literally, I mean, No Dunks and Grammarly, we go way, way back. Almost as far back as this copy, guys, because according to this, I'm supposed to talk about heading back to school. It's so old that it's practically fresh again because people are getting ready to go back to school after Thanksgiving and going back for another semester. So well played, Grammarly, well played. And listen, I wish I had Grammarly when I was in school. And the internet, and a computer. All I had back then was my dad, who, truth be told, was a pretty good editor. But every mark that he made on my handwritten page he became more and more disgusted with me. That's what I love about Grammarly. No shame. Completely shame-free. Grammarly's digital writing assistant is like a trusted companion and friend who's only interested in being there for you and setting you up for success. Grammarly is a must-have for every student. And best of all, it's free to download and works on all your favorite devices and apps. The free version of Grammarly offers comprehensive spelling, grammar, punctuation suggestions, instantly proofreading your work as you write so you can be sure it's mistake-free before submitting. Grammarly Premium, when you're ready for that, comes with advanced features like clarity, full sentence rewrites, which flag and rephrase hard-to-read sentences, cutting down on jargon and making your writing easier to read. Jargon. A lot of people love jargon. Kids today love jargon. Just padding that essay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I used to do
Get
it
your
all
word
the time.
count up.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? You get rid of word counts in essays, right?
Yes.
Yes. Just succinct, to the point. Premium even comes with a built-in plagiarism detection.
What?
Yeah. Just because I would always worry that this sounds like every other essay. I'm going to get flagged for plagiarism. Not that we had plagiarism detection back in my day. It was just the teacher's gut instinct. You didn't write this, you fool. Just one more way Grammarly catches the details that go into getting the best possible grade. Improve your grades with fewer all-nighters by using Grammarly. Sign up today, free at Grammarly.com/NoDunks and get 20% off when you're ready to make that plunge and upgrade to Grammarly Premium. That's GRAMMARLY.com/NoDunks.
The holidays aren't all sleigh bells and mistletoe. They're also airports, shipping delays, and hours upon hours spent in a car. But you can give yourself the ultimate gift of a stress-free holiday with Next Evo Naturals fast-absorbing CBD products. You know the Donkey Boys love Next Evo's Smart Sorb technology. Oh, we love the Sorb! And we love it because it delivers CBD to your system in as little as 10 minutes, unlike other CBD brands. Smart Sorb upgrades CBD's natural absorption power, and it's scientifically formulated to deliver more CBD fast. In fact, Next Evo is the only brand clinically proven to deliver 30 times better absorption in the first 30 minutes. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
So help fight holiday stress with Next Evo Naturals Stress CBD Complex Gummies featuring ashwagandha. Next Evo is the only brand that combines a patented natural whole plant ashwagandha that's 8 times more powerful than regular ashwagandha and their 100% US hemp-derived Smart Sorb CBD with 4 times better absorption than standard CBD. I'm no mathematician, but the numbers sound good. 30 times, 4 times, 8 times. You add it up. That's why they call it Smart Sorb.
Damn right.
They had to call in the scientists to figure out those ones.
Too many numbers.
Yeah. I tried figuring it out. My numbers were way off. They called it dumb sorb. So nobody will ever buy that.
No.
Call in somebody who knows what they're talking about, who's very smart with regards to sorbing. So get smarter CBD from Next Evo Naturals and get up to 25% off subscription orders of $40 or more at nextevo.com/podcast. Promo code NODUNKS. That's nextevo.com/podcast. Promo code NODUNKS.
All right, back in the Classic Factory. We're gonna walk down to Atlantic Avenue, Atlantic Division. Boston Celtics. The biggest surprise about every team in the Atlantic Division, we start with the Celtics. Here's the biggest surprise about Boston. They have the most potent and efficient offense in NBA history. The Celtics have a 121.5 points scored per 100 possessions, and that is 4.2 more than the highest mark in league history, which is the Brooklyn Nets of 2020-21, who only played 72 games that season. But 121.5 offensive rating. It's just nuts what they're doing right now after 22 games. And we're always talking about the 50-40-90 club when we're talking about players and like mad efficiency. You know, 50% from the field, 40% from 3, 90% at the line. Your Larry Birds, your Steve Nashes, your Dirks, your Currys, your KDs, your Mark Prices, your Reggie Millers, the best of the best, right? We need to explore the team version of this 50-40-90 club. I want to propose like a 50-40-85, because 90% at the line as a team, we ain't getting there. 85%? It's doable because the Celtics are doing it. I crunched the numbers this morning, okay? And the only team to hit those shooting splits, 50 from the field, I'm rounding up a little bit, they're 49.8, but 50 from the field, 40 from 3 as a team, and 85 as a team at the line, it's the Boston Celtics. So they are just doing it at all 3 facets of the offensive game. And if you want to tweak that criteria and drop the team's field goal percentage, let's say, to 48%, and then the team's free throw percentage to 80%, you still only add one team to the mix, which was the 2020-21 Clippers, also in that 72-game shortened season. They won 47 games out of 72, but they're the only other 48, 40, and 80 team squad when it comes to shooting the ball. They shot 41.1% from three, that Clippers team did. Isn't that wild? Everyone was lights out. You had the Nard Dog, Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, Paul George, Kawhi was just under 40%. Batum was lights out. So the Celtics, man, they're like right now the best team we've ever seen offensively. And like just for shits and gigs, I dropped the 3-point percentage down a little bit.
This man's getting the most out of
You've
this
got,
yeah.
You've got some statitude.
Yeah, but this is fun. This is like it puts into perspective how great the Celtics offensive team is right now. Because if you drop it to 39% from three, so I am talking about shooting splits as a team, 48 from the field, 39 from three, 80 from the line. This is all you have, okay? The 06-07 Steve Nash Phoenix Suns, the 7 seconds or less Suns, that makes sense, considered by many to be one of the best offensive teams ever. The 17-18 Curry and Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors that went on to win the title. Love that. And then that 2020-21 Brooklyn Nets team, which had Harden, Kyrie, and KD. I mean, they didn't play a ton of games together, but they had some elite offensive players. And then, of course, the 2021 Clippers and the Celtics of this year. That's it. That's the list.
That's the list.
Man, that's crazy. Didn't you have fun?
They're on fire.
I did have fun.
I thought I put it into
that.
perspective right there, man.
Yeah.
That's wild what they're doing. 50, 40, 85 as a team. That's crazy as a player, let alone a team.
It is. You know what would also be crazy is if we tried to edit every number you've said during the show into a short. I think we could
Just
cut
me
it
saying numbers?
Now, if
right.
we steal years, if we make years number, throw
20
year 18,
numbers.
19, if we can include those as numbers, I think we could put together a hell of a medley. I think you could be strolling down Atlantic Avenue and be listening to that 18, 40 from 3, 57 and really
Are you proposing a new YouTube short category, NBA Skeets Watch?
Sure. Love it.
NBA Stats Watch meets NBA Skeets Watch?
Watch.
I think I just blew your
premium
mind
subscription
and the
right
listeners' mind and the viewers' mind there, putting into perspective how great this Boston Celtics offense is. And that's your YouTube short. Loop it, play it again.
Swoop it. I'll tell you what, I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. I don't think the Celtics are the best offense of all time.
Wow.
Pointflation. It's a real thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought it was the Mavs, wasn't it?
Yeah, you would think so.
I think
The
they dropped
1920
off, yeah.
season, we're old enough to remember the Mavs. They've got the best offense of all time. That team is now 11th, passed by teams from last season, this season, and the season after. The best offensive team of all time is the 1986-87 Lakers. Because they are the only team in the top 20 for offensive rating that's not from the 2016-17
Right,
season
right.
onwards.
Yeah, fast break Lakers.
But they can make threes these days. They're allowed to shoot them a lot.
That's
and
right.
the Celtics have great shooters all through their rotation.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It'll go down, though. It'll go down when Rob Williams comes back,
You don't think
unfortunately.
it'll stay at 121? Oh my God. That
No,
is
I'm talking
nuts
percentages
offense
and
rating.
stuff
Oh,
will
yeah,
come
yeah,
down
yeah.
when Robert Williams comes back. Because right now they're just playing good shooters.
Yeah.
Even it's surprising the Nuggets are right there as well. They're, in terms of percentages, they're the 50-40, and then the 3-point percentage drops off for their team. But I don't know why. Who's missing so many threes or so many free throws?
Easy to hit 40% of three-pointers, isn't it?
No. I'm surprised that they're only a 75% free throw shooting team if we want to talk numbers. No, that's why it'd be difficult to stay if we're talking 50, 40, 90 for teams. And all those names that you mentioned.
So 50, 40, 90 will never happen as a team.
No, that's why it's
The
surprising.
free throw line will be the thing.
Yeah,
sure.
that's true. And even the 3-point percentage, that's got to come down for Boston and Denver, who are over 40 right now, I assume.
Does it? It ain't like Robert Williams is going to be shooting 10 threes a game.
No,
They can shoot 40% from three, I do think.
Yeah.
it's
What
tough.
a team.
That's tough.
Best free throw percentage ever. Wait, it's the Celtics.
Right now.
Yes, currently right now, 85%.
Amazing.
Next
See,
best,
doesn't that
the Miami-
sound, isn't that weird? It almost sounds low. Like, you're like, these are NBA players. You're just like, you feel like they can hit every
Just
layup.
didn't figure
or
out how to
free throw.
shoot until recently, I guess. Because number 2 on the list, it's this season's Miami Heat. Number 3 on the list, that great Clippers team. Number 4 on the list, the Phoenix Suns from 2021.
For free
People just
throws.
know how to shoot now. Yeah, this is just straight free throw factoids here.
Good,
Man,
good
that's
stuff.
real sicko
That's
stuff.
That's hot.
All right, let's go to the Philadelphia 76ers, Tass. What's the biggest surprise?
Big surprise. Steve Novak never got 50, 40, 90. Just looking at all the Steves. Kerr, 50,
Yeah.
40.
Steves.
Kerr did it, right?
I don't know. Is he on that list?
No, maybe not.
I don't think so.
What's wrong with
I
that
thought
guy?
I named
Attempts? He probably
a
didn't have
lot
attempts.
of the guys. I may have missed a couple. Kyrie did it. Kyrie did it twice, I think.
Kyrie, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. The 76ers. What's the surprise with them? It's an interesting team. Maybe that Doc Rivers getting compliments. Maybe. Maybe that Joel Embiid was disinterested to start the season, and then, boom, he's an MVP candidate just like that. Oh, this guy, he's out of shape. Oh, he's an MVP candidate. Or maybe that they've done well without their starting backcourt. Both of them. James Harden and Tyrese Maxey out, and they've maintained it. It's not surprising that Tobias Harris has filled in as a number one player because he's kind of been that for other teams for a stretch. He can do that. But it's just a very strange team that they're sitting here 12-10, tied for fifth. I think, zoom out, big picture, it's a surprise that this team hasn't really come together. Even if they're 12-10 and they're fifth in the Eastern Conference, they kind of do it in different parts. You know, Embiid carries the team. He's got that crazy high usage rate, like 40%, can carry the team, but it's not a cohesive team. It doesn't look like a championship team to this point. And I thought coming into the season with all the weapons, with a Maxey Harden backcourt, with Harris as their fourth guy, with PJ Tucker, the perfect glue, as their fifth guy, and Embiid, they just weren't great. Maybe you can blame it on plantar fasciitis. Embiid didn't come into the season and number one, all that in shape. Number two, looked a little disinterested on the defensive end, even though Maxey has been great. Even though they do have a guy who can win MVP in Joel Embiid. This team has not been cohesive, and we expected them to be a number one seed potentially in the Eastern Conference. So this is disappointing, but it is odd that they have a guy who could carry your team to a victory. They have Maxey having a career year, and Doc Rivers, like, hey, you're a good coach again, sort of. So there's a lot of weird things that, you kind of puzzle pieces. Yeah, they're good, but not a cohesive bunch. Not being able to do it for 48 minutes for long stretches. So it doesn't seem like this team is anywhere within spitting distance of the Bucks.
Yeah.
Or the Celtics.
I would agree with that. I thought you were going to go with biggest surprise off of last night's game, PJ Tucker scoring. Hit 2 threes last night.
6 points, baby.
Yeah. This is like doubled his scoring average.
26 points in the month of November for PJ Tucker.
Wow.
Stay tuned for a YouTube short.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. They're coming fast and furious here. I love it.
He really screwed it, eh? With those late points.
Yeah. Would have been nice
on the last day of the month.
All right, Toronto Raptors. Trey Kirby's got it. Look at that. Look at you and I flip-flopping
we changed
there.
it up. It was good.
What do you got for the Raps?
I was honestly surprised to see that only OG Anunoby is in the top 20 in minutes played so far this season. Only OG and Fred are in the top 20 per game. I was surprised by that. Also surprising, Raptors have 3 guys who are juniors. Gary Trent, Otto Porter, and Ron Harper. I think it's the second most in the league, behind
the Rockets?
That's right.
Yeah.
Kevin Porter, Jabari Smith, Kenyon Martin, Ty Washington.
Oh, always forget
Ty
that one.
Jr.
Yeah.
That means there's a Ty Senior out there. That's pretty cool. As for basketball surprises, I think we should start spelling Pascal Siakam with an extra S. P-A-S-S-C-A-L. Because this guy's been passing.
Thanks.
7 assists per game this season. He averages 3.2 assists per game for his career. He's been trending upwards since Kyle Lowry left and has taken over a lot more creation responsibilities. But he's up to 13th in the league right now, assist-wise. Has missed a little bit of time, but he's back, baby. Raptors got 6 guys averaging double digits. A lot of it is because Siakam is able to find shooters and get in the lane and make the right decision. So his game has grown by leaps and bounds, and I think it's pretty cool to see him being a passer now.
Yeah, he's been solid. He's been incredible. I'm glad we're not talking about last night's game where Zion
he's pretty good.
Bodied them. And I guess for the Raptors, Gary Trent Jr. was good off the bench once again. Maybe he's found his role there, but they got embarrassed by the Pelicans last night. It wasn't even close. They made like a fake run to make it like 10, and you were like, ooh, there's 5 minutes left. Maybe they'll make this huge comeback. Nope. They shut that down. Really, really good game from Daniels and Trey Murphy III was huge. Troy Murphy. Shout out to that big old white guy.
Can't wait till we see a Troy Murphy Jr. in the NBA.
Yeah, right. But okay. Any thoughts on the Raps there? Surprise? How have you felt about the Raptors? A quarter of the way in the season.
If Pascal was there, they would be far better. If he was healthier, they'd be way better than this 11-10. So it's been a roller coaster. There's been 2 monstrous duds like yesterday's game, which have led them to a near 500 record. I expect them to be a 50-win team. So all in all, should be disappointed, but the way they play when everybody's healthy, this team is going to be very, very tough to deal with.
Yeah, the Scotty Barnes slump is not great for Raps fans right now, too.
Sure.
The if you want to call it the sophomore slump, he's just been disappointing compared to, obviously, his rookie year. I started again last night. Wancho was back out of the starting.
That's how it should be done.
Well, yeah.
Scotty's not going to be coming off the bench. People excited.
No, you're right, but 1 of 7.
Yeah.
Bad game from Scotty, and look, lots of season left for
Lots
him
of
to
expectations.
unlock it.
I heard social media is a big thing, and I think he may have heard a lot of the chatter in the summer that he's taking the next step. He's going to be a superstar. Can't trade him for Kevin Durant. He'll learn. He'll learn. He'll be all right.
All right, next team in the Atlantic Division, it's the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, baby, don't worry. I'm not gonna talk about crap with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to talk about Kevin Durant. I'm going to talk about one of the best players in the game. And I think the most surprising thing with the way he is playing, he could be an MVP candidate. He's got the highest field goal percentage of his career. What? Kevin Durant.
Scoring
right now.
still 30 a game.
Yeah, highest 2-point percentage of his career. It's ridiculous. You want a John Schumann tidbit? His mid-range field goal percentage is stupid. Anything inside the arc, this guy he's perfected his craft. He's at home on a Monday night watching every game. This guy is
He really is.
He is.
He does.
It's what he does. He's got his highest free throw percentage. He's even learned to shoot better on his free throw percentage. Kevin Durant, he's just turned 34. He leads the league in total minutes played.
Wow.
That's shocking.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes.
It's like him and Lowry are the top 2 now.
Yeah.
Right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oldies.
Yeah.
And I guess, it's hindsight now, but if you go back August, September, we just talked about Scotty Barnes. We talked about the Phoenix Suns. We talked about Jaylen Brown potentially being traded for Kevin Durant. All those teams. That one team didn't just say, we're going for the title. We're going for one run with,
Right.
yes, he's 34, but at the same time, if the Suns have him on their roster, they're easily the best team in the Western Conference. If the
They already are.
Yeah, but with
I
a
hear
bullet. If the Raptors decide to trade OG
Right.
Anunoby
Yeah.
for Kevin Durant, like they did for Kawhi Leonard for one season, obviously they thought they would get more, and obviously they traded an old guy in DeMar DeRozan, as opposed to somebody like OG Anunoby, a team that likes to go for the championship. Hindsight, it looks strange when you're looking at Kevin Durant and what he's doing. It's a different outlook for the Raps than it was in the 2018 summer. I get it. You've got Pascal and OG and Barnes, and you want to know what they can become. But in hindsight, Kevin Durant wasn't traded for, which is weird, I think.
Yeah. It is nuts when you think that he's averaging 30, 6.5, 5.5, and he is 8th or 9th
Is he on the
the
tracker?
MVP tracker. I would guess. I mean, like
Ooh, Tatum took the top spot. Interesting. He's 8th right now.
that's how
Durant
good the league is right now. Where this guy is like one of the greatest scorers of all time with a bang. And is doing it maybe more efficient than he ever has at this age.
Yes.
And I know his team's 12 and 11. Okay, there's that, but similar to sort of like a Luka situation. And it's like he's like I said, he's not even at the table. My God, he's like leaning on the bar, going, "How do I get over to the table?"
spot.
There's Jerome in the turtleneck. We forgot to take a new photo when Jerome was here. It's because I was so sick.
Yeah.
I couldn't be seen in public. So, let alone take a photo with snot dripping down my nose and stuff like that. We'll retake that
Snotty
photo.
dripping.
Yeah, snotty dripping. So anyway, a little love for KD there.
Oh my goodness. Will he be traded? They're just gonna roll with this in Brooklyn? Roll with
Probably.
mediocrity?
Wow.
And then you see what
On the
happens.
upswing.
Yeah.
Oh, they are on the absolute upswing, but what is their ceiling? I don't know.
See.
TBD.
Final team here in the Atlantic Division, New York Knicks. They lost last night, but what do you got?
They lost last night. Who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah.
Knicks are 10th in offense right now. They got a top 10 offense. Despite being middle of the pack in three-point rate, they don't take a ton of threes. They don't make them hardly at all. 30th in percentage. Adds up to being 26th in effective field goal percentage. Middle of the pack in free throws. So it doesn't really make sense how they actually have a top 10 offense, except for here's the key. They do shoot a lot of threes, so the volume kind of mitigates the bad percentages. They take a lot of free throw attempts. easy points right there. And then they never turn the ball over, and they crush the offensive glass. Top 5 in fewest turnovers and top 5 in most offensive rebounds. It's the definition of just show up. Just be there. If you have the ball a lot and you rebound it when you miss, it kind of doesn't matter as much that you miss all the time if you're getting it back. So I think it's been a strange start, kind of under the radar. Nobody's really talking about the Knicks hardly at all right now. Julius Randle, medium bounce back season, I would say. He's not at all NBA levels, but he's not where he was last year. The big concern, I would say, for the Knicks right now is that RJ Barrett needs to improve on his game. He's shooting 40% from the field right now, largely because he's at 28% from the three-point line. He's finishing a little bit better inside. Unfortunately, he's taking some more threes and not making them. He's cut out the mid-rangers, which is probably the weakest part of his game, but he's got to be a better shooter from the outside or an elite finisher. Like, if he wants to model his game after Jimmy Butler, that's a guy that doesn't take a whole bunch of threes, doesn't make a lot of them, but is a great driver, gets to the free throw line all the time, and can finish inside. I think that's a good path for RJ Barrett, but he's got to be better at finishing inside.
Yeah, any thoughts on the Knicks?
Well, yeah, that's what RJ Barrett was supposed to be. He had an incredible January, February, March, and April at driving last year, getting to the rim. He was so good. The percentages are stupid. He looked like a Jimmy Butler light to some degree, and then this year it's gone the other way. It's really strange. So he is a bit of a pendulum. If he plays great, then this team is above 500 because Jalen Brunson has been really, really, really good for this team. He has been the rock that they've needed.
Yeah.
He's been ridiculously solid. But they sit at 10 and 12.
They're just like the classic, like, they lose to good teams or great teams, and they beat the bad teams generally, right? Like, their wins are against the Pistons and Magic and Hornets, and they got one against the Jazz there. I guess they beat the Pistons twice. So it's like they're just, like, stuck in the middle. And I wonder, will they panic trade? And not even panic trade. Will they make a move to, like, try and get a star, borderline star?
Like a Donovan Mitchell type?
Right, well, yeah. Is there a disgruntled star out there? Doesn't really feel like it right now. Does anyone come to mind?
I suppose Beal is always going to be a name that's in the mix, right? Karl-Anthony Towns, I think, could be, could possibly float into trade discussions, and I've heard some Zach LaVine chatter in these
Cat
days.
and LaVine, those are good calls. Those are really good calls, especially Cat. I don't even mind that from the Wolves side of things. Look at me, I'm already talking myself into the Wolves making a trade, moving off of Cat. Maybe it's Barrett coming back to the Wolves in that. Anyway, let's think about that one. Let's put that one aside. The Knicks, okay, they're fine.
Yeah,
they're fine, but they're not great.
Yeah,
they're fine.
All right, we gotta keep moving here. Southeast Division, the Atlanta Hawks. What do you got?
Well, I was fooled. DeJounte Murray came over in the offseason. They flew to Abu Dhabi, had some preseason games against the Milwaukee Bucks. They looked like the better team on that floor in Abu Dhabi with that oversized print in the preseason. They were playing hard. They were consistently playing hard in the preseason. I was fooled. I thought this is a new team because this team has been consistently inconsistent the last couple seasons. I thought DeJounte Murray would be the key to changing the effort level and changing the desire level and just changing the offense to some degree. I know the offense has always been good, but really just to be sort of that steady hand. And they've been up and down again. And I think they're going to make a change based on their personnel. And that is because DeJounte Murray needs to get in the lane. Trae Young needs to get in the lane. He hasn't had his best season. He's been off shooting the ball. And I think John Collins is finally going to move. And even though he is ridiculously talented, I think they're going to trade him for somebody who you would consider less talented, but more of a hard-nosed, three-point shooting, just stay the heck out of the way type of guy. So Trae and DeJounte can do their thing, and that guy, like a Jay Crowder, for instance, could be the guy who just yells at people, has come from a winning situation, sets screens, gets the heck out of the way, and just fires away and plays really hard defense. So just to change up the dynamics there, because they had a fine win yesterday. They're 12 and 10.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a higher ceiling. It's like, the Bulls went and made all their trades. They, again, went to the playoffs once, and now they're sort of underwater. The Hawks don't want to be that. They don't want to be the team that traded for DeJounte Murray with all their picks. And I think they're going to just go further into it and trade a more talented John Collins for somebody that's not going to be as talented, but it could
might
maybe
fit the team,
fit that personality and bring back those Abu Dhabi vibes when things were great in the preseason.
Did they win those games in
I
Abu
think
Dhabi?
so. They won at least one, that's for sure. I think they may have won both.
Okay.
Giannis was sitting, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just this is the team that was like last year. Their offense has dropped off. Their defense has gotten better, but again, they're too inconsistent. The effort level, they don't scrap and play hard, and I think that's where trading a guy like John Collins for a three-point shooter and more of a rough and tumble Tucker Crowder type dude is what's going to happen. Or it could even be a trade with Utah that John Collins could be happy there. Him and Larry Markkinen, so much space, so much roam. That could happen. That could happen. I could see that happening.
Yeah, look, 22 games into the season, if you had said, Hawks have a top 10 defense, you'd be like, oh, God, man, they must be sitting atop the Eastern Conference because they got Trae Young still on the team? Yeah, they got a great elite offense. They don't. They have a 10th-ranked defense and a 17th-ranked offense. I think you said that the other day, Trey. And that is perplexing, and they are so inconsistent game to game. I'd say even half to half with this team. Definitely. You don't know which team. You go down and watch a Hawks game, it's like they look unbeatable at times, and then they look like they've checked out. And they don't have a ton of fight to them at times when the other team goes on a run. So it's a weird season. Yeah, you almost have to shake. I think they just have to shake it up. And it probably has to be Collins. Like, how could it not be after being in trade rumors for 3 or 4 years? And he's a piece that can at least get a player or two that you can, in theory, add to your rotation. So I'm with you on that. I think that's happening here in the next month. That's an emergency podcast waiting to happen.
John Collins, yeah. Oh, yeah, I think that's
somebody pointed
fair.
out we did a Cam Reddish emergency podcast last year to the Knicks. So, I mean, if that's the case, we're definitely doing John Collins. Any Hawks thoughts here?
I think their offense will turn around when Trae really gets going this season. He's 30% from three, and he's finishing in the lane his worst percentages of his entire career. Probably some of that is having to figure out, the new geometry of the court. Some of it is that the Hawks don't have very good shooting right now with Bogdanović out of the lineup, and, Collins' role has been minimized, so he's not getting as many shots. Clint Capella's standing there in the lane. DeJounte Murray's hitting at a league average rate, but he's not a scary outside shooter. So there's probably just more guys hanging out in the lane right now, which makes it tough for Trae. But I assume he'll just have a super hot streak at some point where he's averaging 30 a game.
It'll be like Klay Thompson, like
exactly. Yeah,
it really will be. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. He'll have a couple player of the weeks in him here when he just goes on a run, but not inspiring right now for sure. Neither is this team, the Miami Heat. Trey, what's big?
It's actually kind of nice that they go back to back here because this team is something I will be surprised if they don't make a trade because I don't think this Heat team is good enough as is right now. It just feels like they took a tiny step back this season, whereas the rest of the Eastern Conference took a tiny step forward. Jimmy Butler has been balling, but he's already missed 9 games. I think Bam Adebayo has made a mini leap as the go-to guy with Butler missing games, but Tyler Hero's shot is not there yet. Kyle Lowry has been super inconsistent this season. And then Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, and Cody Martin, they've had fine seasons, like fair enough seasons, but they're not changing so much for this team. They look all right when Jimmy plays because he can really drag them to wins, but they just got to do a little bit something. They never replace PJ Tucker, right? Like Cody Martin shooting 40% from three. He's probably not going to hold to that the entire time. It just feels like a team waiting to make a trade, waiting to get as healthy as possible, and figure something out going forward. Schedule lightens up for the Heat through December. They might look okay by the end of the month, but I'm still expecting a lot of activity at the deadline, and I think Beal will be a target again because he's always been a target for them. I think John Collins should be a target for the Heat. Like, he would really, really help their team. And then Jay Crowder just seems like he's going to be a Miami Heat at some point unless he wants to go to the Bucks. So I think they have ways of getting better, but underwhelming start for the Heat, I think.
Yeah. Who will strike first when it comes to trading? The Heat, the Hawks, the Mavs, or maybe the Wolves? And maybe the Knicks, too, if you want to throw in there. Like those teams that are like 500 teams that definitely want to be much better because of their market or trajectory or trades they've previously made. Who will make the move first? That's what I can't wait to find out. All right, we got a couple more teams. We got to move with some pace here. The Washington Wizards. Biggest surprise about the Zards is that they're one of only 3 teams in the league with 3 20-point per game scorers. And this is trivia time. Okay. Truthfully, I think the Wizards are the only squad with 3 20-point per game scorers just because of games played. because these other two teams have 3 20-point per game scorers, but one guy from each one missed, significant time, half the games. Can you name the other teams?
Clippers?
No.
Oh, I thought it might be. Philadelphia 76ers?
Yes, there you go. So you got Embiid, Maxey, and Harden, but the Beards only played 9 games. Okay.
Sure.
And then the other one, Western Conference.
Nuggets?
No. I think they're in the same.
They probably got two
division
20s.
though as those Nuggies. I love
Portland
divisions.
Trailblazers?
Yes. Simons,
Simons.
Grant, and Lillard, but
Nice.
Dame's only played in 11 games. So the Wizards, they're big 3. With Bradley Beal, 23.6 points per game, Kuzma 20.6, and then Porzingis at 21.6. He is arguably having the best season of his career. A big part of that is he's playing. Knock on wood, he's still healthy, but he's like a top 25 player in terms of like win shares and player efficiency rating and stuff like that. He's been really, really good. I think has like a sneaky borderline all-star case to be made, but yeah, you got Beal playing 75% of the games. You got 3 guys that fill it up. And then there's a drop-off, pretty drastically. But I was wondering, I was like, is this Zard's team with these 3 scorers, like, are they reminiscent of like the 2000 Wizards? They're even wearing the throwbacks right now on some nights. Because those teams nearly had 3 20-point-per-game scorers. It was Gilbert Arenas, Antoine Jameson, and Larry Hughes the one season, and then that got flipped into Caron Butler.
I thought it would be Butler for
as
sure.
the third guy. I don't
Larry
think they never
Hughes,
really
wow.
got there, but they were like 19 points, and like you can round up and you get there. But I think this Wizards team might be like those Wizards team. 40 to 45 wins, a playoff appearance, probably a first-round loss. Bob's your uncle. I see some similarities there.
I think those teams get disrespected in those.
Well, they were going up
2000s.
against LeBron a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It was Raptors-like in that sense.
Yeah,
But,
if they can achieve that, I think that'd be a great achievement. That team won a playoff series. That team is, it's forgotten, but they dressed cool, and that's why they're throwing back the jerseys to that team.
I do love the look.
But if this team can get to 40 wins, that's a heck of an achievement. Now they're sitting at 500 right now.
Yeah.
That would be a great season for them.
We hit the over.
Yeah. What was it, like
I think it
34?
Heads.
Yeah, it was like 33, 34, something like that. Charlotte Hornets, 2 more teams left. Trey, what do you got?
I'm surprised the Hornets don't have the currently worst record in the league right now. It's a little bit of a shock. LaMelo's played 98 minutes. Gordon Hayward, he's hurt right now. He's already missed 10 games. Terry Rozier has missed 8 games. They rolled out probably the worst starting lineup we've seen in the league so far this season a couple of games ago. Teo Maledon, Jalen McDaniels, Mason Plumlee, Kelly Oubre Jr., and P.J. Washington.
Woo!
Woof. But they got 6 wins. They've beat the Hawks, Warriors, 76ers, and Timberwolves. The worst teams in the league, only 5 wins. Another good surprise, though, I was watching the Hornets play the Wizards not too long ago, and Kai Jones got a fast break. And there was a guy only like 2 steps behind him. He still threw down a reverse dunk on the fast break.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool and surprising.
Yeah.
Not much to say about the Hornets,
No.
man. We saw their peak. We saw them take down the Hawks. Huge Nick Richards games.
That was
We
We were
did.
there.
That was maybe their peak.
That was big time.
Yeah.
I think they were 2-1 at that point.
That's a team that we've talked about before, so we don't need to go over it again, but could move some of these guys if anybody can convince himself that they could contribute to your team.
Time. They got it. They got to do it. Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, and even getting off one of the bigs just so the young guys can play. Not that you're getting a lot back for Mason Plumlee, but play Nick Richards, play Mark Williams. What are we waiting for here? Doesn't seem to be much upside. It's tough because if LaMelo's in the lineup, you can win every game. But the other teams are far more healthy that are 1 through 10. It is surprising that they're only 13th.
Well, okay, they're 1 game up on these
Yes.
bottom dwellers.
Yeah, but it
Yes.
feels worse,
Give it a
I
week.
guess.
Yeah, it does feel
because
worse.
they have a guy who was an all-star last year, and obviously he hasn't played.
Yeah, that's a good point.
30th in offense right now. That's a tough watch.
Well, good thing they brought Steve Clifford back.
Steve.
All right, the Orlando Magic. Biggest surprise about them is Bol, baby.
It's bowl, baby.
It's been fun. Over his last 17 games, so when he went into the starting lineup, he's averaging 14 and 8. Okay, it's not going to blow you away, but decent shooting percentages. 59% from the floor for the 7-2 Bull, and 41% from deep, chipping in, close to 2 blocks per game. I think 1.7 over that stretch of 17 games. He looks like a jumbo-sized point guard, though, out there. Like, he brings the ball up. Like, he like pushes the tempo. He can attack a defender off the dribble. And Durant just gave him high praise And KD's a sicko like us. He watches all these games. They just played recently against the Magic, and this is what Durant said. He's unique. He's tough to deal with. You've seen his confidence growing by the game. He can do pretty much everything on the basketball court. That's a Tass Mellis line when I read that. I was like, I love that line from Tassie. KD, you must listen to No Dunks. Last few years, Bull's been in and out of the lineup, hurt, G League stints, but I love what the Magic are doing with him. They're putting him at the point sometimes. They're playing him at the 5. They're moving him around because he's such a versatile player. Again, that was KD giving some love to Bull. And he is one of the rare bright spots outside of Banchero, the start of the season, when he was dunking on guys in game 1, putting down maybe like Dunk of the Year nominees. But then he missed 7 or 8 games, and they've just been decimated by injuries. What's going on with the Orlando Magic training staff? Is this team always injured, or is it just me? It always feels like there's 5 guys out of their lineup, for the last 3 seasons. But this year, Banchero, okay, misses a stretch. Cole-Anthony and Gary Harris, they barely played. Suggs, Wendell Carter Jr., Mo Bamba, OKK, they were all out of the lineup last night. Jonathan Isaac, they tell me he's still an NBA player, but I don't believe it. And then Markelle Fultz, he just came back last night. Baby. So just a lot of injuries, and I feel like that's the case every year with them. So Bull at least is a bright spot.
Bull's balling.
Yeah.
They're like, just let him cook.
Yeah, I know.
They're like, whatever, just bring the ball up and do some cool stuff because you're actually able to stay on the court now. He's not fouling all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty impressive. I thought it was funny that Paolo Banchero compared him to Victor Wembanyama. High praise. But yeah, the Magic. They're not very good, but at least they're entertaining to watch.
Okay, so the Magic get Wemby paired with Bull. Keep Bamba, Banchero. Damn.
They just got a short point guard. That's it.
Yeah.
Jalen Suggs.
Yeah,
I've seen him hit some big shots.
Yeah.
I also saw the Orlando Magic hopped on the big hat trend right away.
Oh.
Yeah, they had a nice
one.
Instagram carousel of them wearing just a gigantic Orlando Magic hat.
Like a noggin boss.
We're talking noggin boss. Baby.
Authentic?
I don't know if it was authentic noggin boss, but it looked like it.
It looked like it.
Yep.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Markelle Fultz was the star of that roulette, I think. He was leading the way. That was the first time I've seen Markelle Fultz in a while. Yeah, first game he played yesterday. I will give Franz Wagner some love. He's 19 and a half points on 50% shooting. That's difficult for a guard wing. He hasn't shot below 40% since October in a game. He is ridiculously consistent. He's doing exactly what they ask. If one of their guards came through, if a Cole or a Suggs took the next step, or Fultz took the next step, they could be a very good team. But yeah, Banchero and Bull are making us forget about the other holes in their lineup. But Banchero is the real deal, probably rookie of the year, 8.5 free throws per game. That's superstar stuff right there.
Killer Bees.
Bulls. I just said Bulls. Pluralize the Bulls. Banchero. What's the other one? No, just Bulls and Banchero.
Bamba, if you want.
If you want.
If you want. Killer Bees, you only need 2. That was the tag team. You must have had those wrestlers.
I didn't.
Really?
I don't know why.
Oh, wow.
Hold on. Are they the British Bulldogs?
No. Those are the Bees.
Those are the Bees.
Killer Bees. They were dressed in yellow. I think their names were Jim and...
They faded, those guys.
Oh, Jim and I don't know.
They must have faded.
They
quick.
a bright moment there.
They shone bright that I don't even freaking remember who they are. Killer Bees tag
Killer
team.
Bees?
I'm a
Let us
British
know in the
Bulldog.
They got a stripy look. No
it was
surprise.
black and yellow.
Jim Brunzell and B. Brian Blair.
They were funny.
85 to 88. That's a little early.
No, but they did. You have all those old wrestler
I have
things.
them. I have
what
them.
do you call those? They're called something.
It's
like
action
that hard,
wrestling
that hard
figures.
plastic.
Action figures.
But I remember I had them, and they were one of them. I don't know if it was Jim or the other one. He was in the dumbest pose. He was like this.
Yeah.
I was like, how am I wrestling with this guy giving a Lee Ellis thumbs up the entire time? Anyway,
I forgot those guys. Yeah, I was a British Bulldogs guy. They had some. They had some dumb poses too.
Did they?
Were they?
One of them wasn't.
Yeah, one of them. Davy Boy Smith.
yeah, David. What was that?
Yeah, they had other ones. I think Will and Kate went and watched them wrestle actually in Britain. Were they even British? the Bulldogs?
Oh yeah, I don't know about. Yeah, I think they
Davy
were.
Boy?
I'm not sure Davy Boy was. Maybe he wasn't. But what's the other one's name?
The other one. Dynamite Kid.
Oh, Davy.
There was multiple British
There was
Bulldogs?
3 dogs.
Hold on.
There was 3 dogs.
Matilda. Was the dog.
Yeah, I get it. Davy Boy Smith.
He
Dynamite
was
Kid.
British, it looks
But
like.
it was Davy Boy Smith, the Dynamite Kid. Isn't that the
No,
same?
both. They're cousins.
Oh, Davey Boy's the big guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dynamite Kid's a little guy.
Why am I thinking his name was something
Dynamite
else?
Kid.
Maybe there's only
Nice.
2.
Yeah, there was.
Both died prematurely wrestling.
Both
Final
British.
Oh, there you go.
Both British. Respect.
Checks. Good. We can sleep at night. All right.
And it was an authentic noggin boss.
Good. Take our final break. When we come back. My God, it's a long podcast. When we come back, pick 'em results and a fun tweet of the night. Don't go anywhere.
Well, I was at a lovely wedding a couple months ago. My man Ryan Setz got married. No, it was not a bowling-themed wedding. The former Canadian Junior Bowler of the Year doesn't bowl as much as he used to, although he did win some cheddar, his words, in a tournament recently.
Oh, nice.
Some cheddar, some Canadian cheddar. But I could tell Indochino was present at his wedding. I could tell. I was looking around, spotting him everywhere. I was looking for the bowling monograms on someone's suit. There were some bowlers there, I know. I know Indochino can sew a nice bowling monogram. They customize everything. I know, Skeets, you've got an Embrace the Day monogram.
I do.
I've got your pant leg, right? I've got all of everything. Just all of monograms everywhere. My chinos, my shirts, my custom cuffs, my custom collars. I got it all. Just olives. All colors, too.
Nice.
All colors that olives come in. Not crazy colors. Not like white olives.
What colors do olives come in?
All of them. Green, for sure.
Yeah, black.
Black, purplish, yeah.
That's it.
Man, this ad is the pits. Anyway, sorry, Indochino. Anyway, I've got my measurements inputted on Indochino's website on their platform, and I'm glad they haven't changed over the years because I put them in a couple years ago. They're still there. Easy. Click. Choose your favorite fabric. Customize every detail to find the look that is perfect for you. I was impressed with the customization. Every Indochino suit is made specifically for you. It's a tailored experience at a great price. Shop their made-for-you suits starting at just $449 and premium fitted shirts starting at just $89. You can fine-tune every detail, lapels, linings, monograms, and more. Get a premium, personalized wardrobe without spending a fortune. Design your perfect suit with Indochino. To get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more, use promo code NODUNKS at Indochino.com. 10%, that's a lot of cheddar. That's INDOCHINO.com, promo code NODUNKS.
10%, that's a lot of olives.
Oh, yeah.
Champions aren't born, they're made. And the secret to making your business reign supreme? Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. Shopify makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere, whether you're selling warm-ups or wall hangers. It's time to start selling with Shopify and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. With Shopify, you'll customize your online store to your brand, and you'll discover new customers, and you'll build the relationships that create diehard fans, like our diehard No Dunks fans. Shopify fields all the sales channels to grow a winning business, from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform, even across social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Social media, hot right now.
Social media.
Big time. Social media is having a moment.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, and thanks to 24/7 support and free on-demand business courses, Shopify is on your team every step of the way. It's a well-known fact that Jimmy Butler started selling $20 cups of coffee, no matter the size, in the NBA bubble back in 2020. But did you know that Jimmy brought his love of coffee and community to the digital world? Seriously, Big Face Coffee uses Shopify. Jimmy gets buckets, and Jimmy gets bucks with Shopify. When you're ready to take your winning idea to the world, team up with Shopify, the e-commerce platform powering millions of businesses down the street and around the globe. Try out Shopify for free today and start selling anywhere. This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. And sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/nodunks. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/nodunks to start selling online today. That's shopify.com/nodunks. All right, back with the boys here in the Classic Factory. Got a photo of the Killer Bees, LJN action figures I was talking about. There it is. I believe that is Jumpin' Jim Brunzell with a thumbs up on the left. And then that's, of course, B. Brian Blair on the right. The Killer Bees.
These look like knockoffs.
No,
They don't look-
Tass.
I know my wrestling action figures.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
You have two of the best.
Stop calling them LJN. That's just a
what they
company.
are.
No, that's just the brand.
That's how
the
they're
company.
known on eBay, man. You can sell yours for a pretty dime.
Never. Anyways, that one kind of looks like Greg the Hammer Valentine. Greg the Hammer Valentine had a pose like that.
Yeah, he did.
The lefty hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mine didn't have underwear.
Oh, because you like to take it
Somebody
off.
scraped it off.
Scraped it
Not
off.
me. Did I like to take it off? It just happened.
You freak.
Oh, natural. We took our time. We didn't just take our underwear off.
The Killer
It just happened over
the
years.
Killer Peens. Tass used to call them.
That's what I told him. That's what I called them.
I just
Anyway.
checked to see if the Killer Bees ever won the tag team championships. It appears they did not, but they did win the Frank Tunney Senior Memorial Tag Team Tournament held in Maple Leaf Gardens in 1987. They beat Demolition in the finals.
Frank
Like a
Tunney.
King of the Ring?
Yeah,
tag
it
teams?
looked like basically they beat here's who they beat in the first round, Kamala and Sika. I don't even remember who that was. They beat King Kong Bundy and Paul Orndorff.
Upset.
Orndorff,
Yeah, Orndorff, thank you. And then Demolition went through the Can-Am Connection. You remember them? Rick Martel and Tom Zank.
Tom
I
Zink.
remember Rick
And the
Martel.
British Bulldogs were in this. Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid. Wow. Axe and Smash were in that one. Not Crush. He came later. Anyway, pick 'em results. I'm going to start a wrestling podcast where we just talk about
say
old
old wrestler
wrestlers.
names.
That's a great
Here's
idea.
this week's list of 30 old wrestler names and something they did.
I'd listen to the hell out of that podcast.
I would love to hear somebody say B. Brian Blair.
B. Brian Blair.
B. Brian Blair.
Pick 'em results last night. It was the Minnesota Timberwolves game where the Grizzlies were favorites on the road, but I told you to bet your house on Mini covering, and they did, and that was a win for me and Tass, I believe. And you see the records there for the month of November. I'm the big winner. Woo! 11-8. Tass and Trey tied the identical 8-11 records. So there you have it.
Congrats to us.
Yeah. Let's get to tonight's game, Tass.
Game.
I know which one it is.
There's only one game in the National Basketball Association.
Weird, man. Weird.
Weird. I'm going to go to does Skeets think there are enough NBA games tonight.com, and the answer will be no, because there's only one game and doesn't want to go up against the old Bills Pats. The NBA does
Oh,
not.
is that what's happening tonight?
So Dallas visiting Detroit, the only NBA game. 7.5 points.
Wow.
I'm taking the Pistons to cover. Dallas isn't going to mop the floor with the Pistons. Nah. They're not a blowout team, says I tonight.
true.
So, you guys, leading off December, picking the Mavs to win by 8 in Detroit.
Is there a Dwayne Casey revenge factor here? Wasn't he an assistant coach for the Dallas Mavericks a couple seasons?
Oh, he was
think
on the
so.
bench with Carlisle when they won.
That
wasn't he?
sounds correct, Tass.
Or was he gone?
I think you're right.
think he was
I think
there.
you won a title. I think there's a revenge
think-
factor here at play. Just like him
He
with
was
the
he was the
Raptors.
defensive coordinator on that team. Sorry to bring it back to the NFL. Who's the Buffalo Bills defensive coordinator?
Is it Wade Phillips?
I don't know.
Nah, that bum Phillips is out of here. No, he's gone.
I think it's B. Brian Blair. Call him the defensive.
B.
Also,
Bill Belichick.
full circle here. Apparently, they took the Killer Bees nickname when they came into wrestling
Yeah, that's
from like a 70s Dolphins team that had a bunch of B-named guys
yeah,
that were
yeah,
a
yeah.
great defensive unit that called themselves the Killer Bees.
Killer Bees.
Great.
They were great. Was that the team that went 16-0? The Killer Binoculars?
Mercury Morris
I don't know,
in the
man.
backfield?
What a name.
Holy, what a name.
Mercury.
What else we got?
wrestler
Let's get to
name.
tweet of the night.
Yeah,
Let's do that. Let's make it quick.
Tweet of the night.
That's a cutie.
Wow.
This is one of the cutest tweets of the night, I would say we had. This one's big time. Very, very cute. Cute moment. Cute moment from the Nuggets and Rockets game last night. Post game, Nikola Jokic sees his countrymen, Boban Marjanovic. They greet each other with a deep hug, 3 kisses on the cheek. DeAndre Jordan loves it. He's liking it. He's like, oh, this is cute. So he goes in for the hug. He goes for 2 kisses. But Boban pulls him back in. He says, no. No, in Serbia, we do 3 kisses.
That's great.
Got a tweet from Ibrahim Eski who says, Tess Mellis, we need the analysis on the cheek kiss on Boban because he goes in for 2, but Boban corrects him to do 3 kisses Serbian style. Is this true?
Yeah, I'm not Serbian, but
I think Ibrahim just assumes
yeah, I am from that part
the
of the
general
world.
kissing. Groups.
Absolutely. I have seen my friend Alex Churchin and his family kiss each other 3 times as they greet each other. What a waste of time. I've
What, 1 or 2 kisses too many?
2 max. I mean, I grew up twosies. I'm sure you were doing a lot of that too, JD, when you were in Greece. Yeah, you get 2 is plenty, is it not? Do we need a third? Do we need a third kiss?
Boban
So
says you
DeAndre
do.
Jordan, it felt natural. It felt natural for DeAndre Jordan for 2 kisses. And that's what he did with Boban. And I think that's all you got to do. I'm not sure why a third was added. Was added like there was ever
they
just
do,
2.
man.
That's what they do. Not to insult that entire culture, but 3 seems like a lot.
It seems
So
excessive to test.
that's my analysis. What do you think?
I did a quick Google search, but it turns out it's true.
Yeah.
Serbians generally kiss 3 times on the
love it.
cheek as a greeting. There are many different rumors why. It could be related to the Orthodox religion, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It could be the 3 kisses celebrate life, death, and honor in that order. It could be the second kiss on the original cheek is so that the other one doesn't cry. All I know
Okay, well then you only need 2.
is that Serbians will never kiss twice. Adults will never kiss twice is what I saw on this one Serbian website.
Jeez, they're judging you, Tess.
That's an
turn.
interesting one.
The kisses have
yeah.
turned.
My man Alexander Churchin would never kiss twice. He would always do it 3 times.
So what did you guys do?
He would,
when you
and
saw
he would
each
only
other?
and he would only shoot 3-point shots too. He would never shoot 2-point shots. So
Have we played with him?
I think so.
I think so. He does shoot a lot of threes.
Great shooter.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's a very good shooter.
All right, that is today's podcast. My goodness. You want some other podcasts? Got some more hours left in the day to listen to pods? Well, go check out the new Is This Good podcast. Posted yesterday. Special guest, Jackie Tone, was it?
Jackie Tone, yeah.
Thank you. This is up, obviously, on YouTube. It's available wherever you download and listen to podcasts. Just search for Is This Good? Matty OJD and special guest, Jackie Tone. Going through some fun topics.
I'm laughing at this photo of a baby foot with an engagement ring on it because it's weirding me out. You look at it after a while.
It almost looks like a Jim Brunzell thumb when you squint.
Yeah, it's like, is it a hand? But
Is it a hand or a foot?
It's a foot.
It's a baby foot.
Wow.
Here, we're gonna take a cute
I don't
photo.
know. Matty O has thumbs that look like toes. That could be a thumb. This could be Matty O for all we know.
Don't all of our thumbs look like toes, though?
No, some people's do more than others. Like Matt's do. They're more. They're more like. They're more.
Toe-like.
Yeah, they're like toes. Yeah, great way to put it.
Yeah,
Like
a
mine.
chode.
Like mine doesn't look
Yeah.
like a.
They're like
Wider.
chode
That
thumb.
doesn't look like a
wide
toe.
thumb.
kind of looks like a toe.
I mean, but not. It's his is more squat. You know, like
Let's see.
like yours.
Don't look at. What
do you mean?
I'm trying to show the camera. Why are you looking?
I don't know.
That looks.
See,
Mine
yours
looks exactly
more-
like a big
See,
toe.
mine looks a little too skinny for a toe, I think. Right?
You have skinny toes. Probably looks like your toes.
My toes are.
I think
jacked up.
Taz, yours looks more like a toe.
Yeah.
No offense.
I got no problem saying that. Let's see your thumb.
see.
You guys don't want to see. You'll be embarrassed.
Why?
Why?
My thumbs are very long and skinny. They look exactly.
Well, why
like
are your
thumbs.
feet so short?
They look exactly like thumbs.
Kidding me?
I don't.
Look at
think-
these.
Yeah, I want to see that angle.
That does not look like a toe to me.
No, it doesn't.
Like we gotta get Matt's. We gotta get a photo of Matt's.
Those look as long as fingers. Those are huge.
Those-
Thank you.
And also later today, if you are a Survivor fan, new No Buffs podcast live at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is right around the corner. We'll go live over on our YouTube feed, and then that will get flipped into a podcast soon after. One of the greatest episodes of the past couple seasons, last night's Survivor episode. We are going to have a blast breaking this one down. Incredible challenge, some hilarious moments involving Owen at the start, being Charlie Brown, and then the hiding in plain sight,
Great stuff.
advantage it was in the end. Anyway, we got lots to talk about. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's No Buffs. That's our Survivor podcast. That's it for us today. We'll see you tomorrow for the Drop podcast. I think we're going to make some early All-Star teams tomorrow, some debates about who should be in the mix. Got 5 Star Friday Got worse of the week, so tons coming up tomorrow. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, I got this from Statitudes. Survivor Statitudes.
Okay.
I didn't get it from Survivor.
No,
I got it from, I think it was from Rob Sestorino. You know that challenge. I'm mesmerized by that challenge.
Gasp.
Last gasp, where you're in the water and
Yep.
you're just, the tide comes in and
You
you're,
try and breathe.
yeah.
Yeah.
A legendary Survivor challenge, but it's
100%.
only been there 4 times apparently.
I was surprised as well.
Isn't that crazy? It's been like 10 seasons or so since they last did it, right?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, yeah. I thought they did it last season. They did a crazy underwater one last season, but impossible.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
Did you enjoy the challenge?
Oh, I enjoyed
Well,
Jeff
you're gonna
Probst.
enjoy No
I'm gonna
Buffs.
enjoy your show. I'm gonna enjoy No Buffs. I enjoyed Jeff pacing back and forth. We're taking it back to the old school.
It's going to be a good one. All right, guys. We'll see you either for No Buffs or we'll see you for the Drop Podcast. Embrace the day, people.